Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. PNB SO Industry Officer exam will be conducted on 5th May. Only few days are left. At this time, you should give more and more mock tests. That's why I have made this mock test to help the aspirant community. You can watch the mock test one in my YouTube channel also. You first pause the video, solve the question and then see the solution. First question is, which of the following materials has a negative temperature coefficient of resistance? Negative temperature coefficient of resistance means if temperature increase, then electrical resistance will decrease. So there is an inverse relation between them. The answer will be silicon. The second question is, in a simple harmonic motion, the acceleration of the particle is. Here I will teach you one intelligent guessing technique. Look, if you know the answer, it's good, you know it. But if you do not know the answer or you are confused, then you must intelligent guessing techniques. One of such techniques is the larger option tends to be correct. Look, if the answer is larger, that means it has some sort of some important information or it has some sort of explanation. So that's why generally, I want to say that there is a higher probability that larger options tends to be correct, but do not just blindly make the larger option as correct. Here the larger option is, it is proportional to displacement and directed towards mean position, and it is correct option. In this question I will teach you another guessing technique. The question says the primary function of a transformer is to. I know that option C is incorrect and also option A is incorrect. Now I have two options in my hand. And I always suggest people that if you eliminate other options and if you have two options in hand, to attempt that questions. Now there is 50% probability that your option will be right or 50% probability that your options may be wrong. So there are 16 questions. So 50% becomes right. So 8 questions becomes right and 8 questions becomes wrong. 8 questions becomes right means you get 16 marks and 8 questions becomes wrong. That means you get 8 into 2 by 4, providing 1/4 is the negative marking. So that will be 4. So you will have a net positive marks, that is 16 minus 4 is 12. So if you eliminate other options and if you have two options in your hand, do attempt that question. In this question, the right answer would be step voltage up or down. Question 4. Which of the following devices works on the principle of electromagnetic induction? The answer is transformer. Fifth question. In a PN junction diode under forward bias, the width of the depletion layer. Now here you might tell me that, sir, here D is the larger option. But D is not correct answer. The correct answer is B, it decreases. That's why I told you that there is a probability that it tends to be correct, but there is no guarantee, and do not just blindly follow this rule. In amplitude modulation, the carrier signal frequency is. The answer is unchanged. About amplitude modulation, it is a technique where amplitude of a carrier wave is varied in proportion to the information signal, while the frequency remains constant. The main advantage of optical fiber communication over copper wire communication is immunity to electromagnetic interference. See, here the larger option gets correct. Next question. A Zener diode is typically used for voltage regulation. Zener diode is a special type of diode designed to allow current to flow in reverse direction. when the voltage exceeds a specific value called Zener breakdown voltage. It is commonly used for voltage regulation. Next question, the cutoff frequency in a filter is defined as the frequency at which the output power drops to. Now, here you can use intelligent guessing. See the value 70.7. Why on earth someone would think about 70.7 if it is not the right answer? Look the other options 100%, 50%, 0%. I mean, it is very easy to think about 0%, 50%, 100%, but it is not easy to think about 70.7 if it is not the correct answer. So the correct answer is 70.7. Next question, ferrite material are used for high frequency transformer cores. Next question, the primary purpose of a foundation in a building is to distribute loads to the soil. The next question, the main ingredient in Portland cement responsible for strength development is lime calcium oxide. Here you can see the larger option gets correct. Slump test is performed to measure workability of concrete. Phenomena of gradual settlement of soil over time under constant load is known as consolidation. Read about these options from Google. A cantilever beam is characterized by free at one end and fixed at other end. You can read about cantilever beam here. Which type of load is caused by earthquakes on structures? The answer is dynamic load. The unit operation involving separation based on differences in boiling points is distillation. Do read about these other processes from internet. In a chemical reaction, the rate of reaction typically it increases with increase in temperature. A catalyst increases the rate of reaction by decreasing the activation energy. Reynolds number is used to predict rate of reaction, type of fluid flow. Yes, type of fluid flow. Reynolds number is a dimensionless quantity in fluid mechanics that predicts flow behavior, whether it will be laminar or turbulent. The primary law governing the diffusion of gases is Fick's law. You can read about the Fick's law. In data analysis, what is the main goal of data normalization? To reduce redundancy and improve data integrity. Here you will also see the larger option is getting correct. So friends, if you feel this video adds any value in your preparation, do like, share and subscribe to my channel. You can also give your feedback in the comment section. Next question, what does big O notation describe? Big O notation describes the runtime complexity of an algorithm. What does the term overfitting refers in machine learning? Here you will also see the larger option is getting correct. Overfitting means a model that performs well on training data, but it performs poorly on unseen data. The next question is, which data structure uses the LIFO last in first out principle? The answer is stack. For example, this is a stack and here the elements are 1, 2 and 3. So 3 is the last element. But when it will be removed, 3 will be removed first. 1 2, then 2 will be removed, so it will be 1, and then 1 will be removed. So although the 3 it enters last, it will be removed first. That's why last in first out. Which statistical test would you use to compare the means of two independent groups? The answer is t-test. Which law of thermodynamics introduces the concept of entropy? The answer is second law. Which type of stress do the forces act parallel to the surface? The answer is shear stress. The efficiency of a Carnot engine depends on temperature of heat reservoir. Which material property defines its ability to absorb energy and plastically deform without friction? The answer is toughness. A system is said to be in static equilibrium when both net force and net torque are 0. Which of the following has the highest thermal conductivity? The answer is copper. Reynolds number is used to predict laminar or turbulent flow. In welding, a heat affected zone is zone where microstructural changes occur due to heat. Here you will also see that larger option is getting correct. Main objective of mineral beneficiation is to increase the concentration of valuable material. Which of the following is a surface mining method? The option will be open pit mining. The Moho scale is used to measure. The answer will not be specific gravity. The answer will also not be A. Now you reach two options. Here you can use 50-50 elimination technique. The answer would be hardness of minerals. Let's see. Yes, hardness of mineral. The process of bleaching is most commonly used in the extraction of gold and uranium. The basic raw material for polyester fiber is petroleum. Which natural fiber is classified as a protein fiber? I think the answer is wool. Yes, wool. What is the main function of a diode in a circuit? It allows the current in one direction only. Here we will also see the larger option is correct. In Nyquist theorem, the Nyquist theorem is used in signal sampling. What is sampling? Sampling in digital communication is converting a continuous time signal to discrete time signal. What does the term impedance represent in a AC circuit? The answer will be resistance and reactance combined. What is the function of a flip-flop in digital circuit? It stores 1 bit of data. A microprocessor is mainly used to perform logical and arithmetic operation. What is the role of multiplexer? Select one input out of many and forward it to a single output. Here you will also see the larger option is correct. Which of the following is not a layer of OSI model? Physical layer, then data link layer, then network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer. Internet layer is not there, so it is the option. It is the correct answer. The function of a capacitor in a DC power supply is to store energy and smooth the output. A signal with higher signal to noise ratio means better quality and clarity.